this is PJ with CLK Supplies, and I am out in the wild today. Well, really just outside, and it feels good. And today we're gonna make a key for this T-handle on this garage door. Now, the first thing that I wanna do when I walk up to something like this is I wanna look and see if there's a code stamped on it. And in this case, there is. It says A18. So I went ahead and I typed that into the software on the Futura Pro and also to the G-Code online, and I really couldn't find any results that I was looking for. I did check, it is a Y11 key, but all the descriptions that were listed, I really didn't feel comfortable trying to cut any of the keys. There's nothing that said, T-handle, garage door, really, or just handle, really nothing like that at all. So at that point, you kind of have two options. You can find different codes that did come up that fall within the code series on a Y11 key. You can try cutting them, seeing if they work. Maybe you get lucky, maybe you don't. Or you can just resort to a more manual method. And in this case, I figured, since these locks are fairly simple to just make a key manually for, I figure let's do that together. Now, typically I would grab a hand file, maybe a pair of locking pliers and a couple Y11 keys, and I just hand file this. But I was like, you know what, let's have a little more fun. Let's make it a little more difficult. And I'm just gonna use a Y11 key that I'm not modifying at all, and the LISHI cutter. So let's go ahead, let's zoom in the camera, and let's get to work. All right, so I have my blank Y11 key here I haven't modified, and then I have my LISHI cutter. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go ahead and get the blank put in, and we'll get started. So I'm gonna use the same, impressioning motion, which is back and forth, up and down, while putting pressure on it on both sides. This is how I grew up doing it, and so this is how I just feel most comfortable impressioning to this day. So we're going to get that put in there. Like I said, putting a pair of locking pliers or like an impressioning tool on here will definitely be helpful. But like I said, I just want to have some fun and use the LISHI cutter and just a blank key. So we're going to do that. Get that put in here, we'll pull it out. Now, before we look at the marks here, on the LISHI cutter, you're going to see two different markings on here. You're going to see a 0.5 on the right and a 0.6 on the left with a bunch of little lines underneath it. Now that means 0.5 millimeters and 0.6 millimeters, and the little lines underneath there are going to, they're like little alignment guides to help us, look at the different, positions, the different depth positions, okay? So I'm gonna use these, they're pretty close together. Like when you look at them at first glance, they almost look like they're just straight lines right across. So I'm just gonna use those for every time I see an impressioning mark. I'm gonna just to try my best to just take off, down to the next mark. It's kind of hard, and sometimes I tend to go a little over, which is not good. It's kind of like a haircut, right? Like once you take it off, you can't bring it back and you have to start over. So I'm gonna be as careful as I can, and let's see if we can get this done here. So I've got my key here. Let me take a look, and I do see really only, I don't really see very much actually, Let's put it back in here and let me do this again. Pull it out, let's see. All right, there's some markings for us. Just gonna put it in the cutter here. Now you could use once you get your marks, put some lines in here with some Sharpie, to help you, align the spacing, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna kind of put it at an angle here, bring it down like that, cut it. Oh, hey, check out that. It just turned on me. So now I had to try pretty hard here. I'm gonna move it just back and forth to try to get those wafer marks pushed really down, hard on the key, so hopefully I can finish it up here. But just gonna move it back and forth here for a second, and then I'm gonna go and just lock it back up. Okay, which is always a hard thing to do when you're impressioning. You're like, do I really want to? Now, if I needed to get in here for some reason, or I felt like I should take the lock off the door, I would open it, pop it up, then take it off. But that's not the case here, so we're gonna go ahead and pull it out, and let's take a look. So Here we go. Okay, so we're not quite there yet. Okay, so it turned over again. Let's pull it out. Let's see if we can figure out what's going on here. Just a hair off there. Okay, let's see. Oh, okay, look at that. Okay, so now we got a turning key. Oops. Let's see if I need to do any more work to it. Nope. Looks like it works perfectly good. All right, and so that is how you impression a key with the LISHI cutter. Have you guys done this before? Is it your preferred method, or do you prefer using a key file? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.